This video will demonstrate looking up numbers on table F, which is called the t-table. The population standard deviation would be unknown, and that's how we know to use the t-table rather than the z-table, but there would be a sample standard deviation known. Let's say, for instance, that we want to create a confidence interval and the confidence level is 99%. And our sample size is 20, and we're trying to figure out the t value that's going to go in the formula because we have a sample standard deviation and not a population one. When you use the table, you go to table F, which is the t distribution, and when you look along the top line, it's talking about confidence intervals. This line with the one tail and the two tail, we will use that line of the table in the next chapter, but we're just looking along the top here. And so if we want to be 99% confident for this first one, you'll look clear in the right hand column at the 99, and then down the left hand side, the degrees of freedom are one less than your sample size. And so for this particular problem, we were assuming that the sample size was 20. And so you look on line 19 and then go over clear to the right hand column, and it looks like 2.861. So that's the t value that would go in the formula. The next example we're going to look at is 95% confidence, and the sample size is 30. So again, you look along the top at 95, right, this column right here. And then when the sample size is 30, you want to look at line 29, one less than your sample size. And then go over to this column, and it looks like 2.045 right there. The last one I want to show you is a little bit tricky. This one is 90% confident and the sample size is 45. So when you go to this table, the 90% is right here, but when you look on the table, you should be looking for a 44 because it's one less than your sample size, and that line is not there. Your textbook says that some people will go to the closest number, like some people would use the 45 instead of the 44, but your textbook is a conservative method textbook and it uses line 40. It always goes down a line. So if the 44 is not there, it rounds down to 40, and then it would go across to the 90% confidence right here. It would be 1.684. So in your book, if the numbers are not here, if let's say that your sample size was 62 and you needed a 61, it would go down to the 60. It always goes down. Or like if your sample size was, I don't know, 35, you could use the 34 because it's there. But if you go way up here and your sample size was 79, there's no 78, you'd have to use a 75.